exhibition is a chance that you get an overall view of Islamic architecture and architecture decorations from the inside of monuments and from the exterior of monuments. You will be able to see doors inlaid in mother of pearl. You will be able to see miniatures meticulously painted and ceramic tiles from the interior of shrines and from its exterior, beautifully painted, underglazed and overglazed. This is a chance to be introduced to some of the most magnificent works of art produced all through the Islamic civilizations, all brought to you here in this exhibition.
I think this is the first time that architecture in Islamic art is a subject of a temporary exhibition, and it's not been then a surprise not only for the public, but also I think it will be a surprise for some museum curators to discover this as a topic. And obviously through the objects presented in this exhibition they will see, to their amazement, that is a rather frequent subject matter.
It covers China, it covers India, it covers, so it's a multinational, because Malaysia is a multinational culture, so it will help to educate the importance of Islamic architecture. And I hope we could work more entwined between the Aga Khan Museum when it's open in Toronto, and we'll carry on more in other exhibitions that deal with Islamic art. Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, today we welcome the traveling exhibition Treasures of the Aga Khan Museum, Architecture in Islamic Art. It is indeed a special exhibition because it's a unique collection of art objects that reflects the vision, wisdom, and passion of His Highness the Aga Khan. And secondly, because it addresses the magnificent topic of Islamic architecture.
Historically, architecture was one of the most powerful expressions of our cultures. And yet, 35 years ago, in my view, we had disappeared from the world's architecture. Our buildings had become books on coffee tables. Our schools of architecture had no architects trained in Islamic architecture. Our historic buildings were not being maintained. Historic cities were allowed to disappear out of ignorance or lack of interest. We have to illustrate the fact that our world is a very diverse world, but it is a very beautiful world in its diversity. It goes from high mountains to deserts. It crosses oceans. It covers populations with different backgrounds, different histories, and yet it is one brotherhood. It seems to me, therefore, that it is important that we illustrate this beauty in a way which the global community can understand. Today, alhamdulillah, we see more and more museums coming up in the Islamic world, illustrating the diversity, the history, the great traditions of our world. And we are re-entering the knowledge of global humanities from which we have been absent for too long. So I wanted to thank you for inviting me and to tell you my admiration and gratitude as one Muslim amongst others for the wonderful work you're doing. Thank you.
This exhibition, Treasures of the Aga Khan Museum, Architecture in Islamic Art, takes us back in time to the heights of the Islamic civilization and presents us with depictions of masterpieces of architecture and their representations. This thematic choice allows the display to take a topological rather than a strictly chronological or geographical approach. Thus, we will enjoy depictions of sacred and funerary architecture, lavish palace interiors, awnings and tents in the garden surrounding, as well as magnificent fortified enclosures. This is the first time that these masterpieces of Islamic art have been seen in Southeast Asia. We do know that they are of exquisite, exceptional historical importance and beauty. But perhaps still more important is that this collection reflects the Aga Khan's keen interest in promoting further understanding and appreciation of the arts and cultures of the Islamic world. I would like to repeat that often stated maxim: where there is beauty, there is attraction. Where there is exquisiteness in the creation of things, the act will draw upon us appreciation and, to a certain extent, friendship and tolerance. Perhaps it is in and within the Islamic art that lies the magic future of our civilization. The past pushes us to the present. Today, we could relive some of the past's exquisite creations. The joy of it engenders us to be together, and let us become more of appreciators and not more as lamenters.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And then Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Malaysian visitors to this exhibition are going to be surprised by realizing that although Islamic art is plural in its forms and manifestations, it has a kind of a common thread of feelings and topics. And although they are, let's say, at the end of this arch represented by the Islamic populations from the Maghreb to East Asia, they will find that this common thread is also illustrating their own artistic productions.
So in a way, we are telling the Malaysian society that this is heritage, this is how architecture was perceived 600 years ago, and this is how we perceive architecture today. How can we connect them? Let's always try to understand that if we connect the concepts of these civilizations, we will be able to produce something that is very novel and something that will have more of an identity in our culture and society today.